Morning! It's morning where I am right now. It's just morning. I haven't had a shower or anything. I've got this, look, a fantastic quiff going on. Ugh. Barry Shaw, or Baz, said, why don't we talk about toys that you've had for a little while and still love? After absolutely ages, still completely love. And that's a very good idea. It's partly my idea, not talking about it. Toys that you've had for ages and not lost their shine. Lost their shine. Sean Connery. None of these are in chronological order. All of these have a story of some description. A couple of them are stories of the downfall of us ever having any money. But that's okay, because you can buy happiness. Look. Now, most of these toys, I will quite happily just say, how do I want to word it? If you watch this list and anything on here you've never played with, and someone that you know has one, or you get the opportunity to touch and play with one, just all of these, in my book, are amazing. There's lots of third-party stuff here. If you don't like third-party and think it's a KO, turn off now. Fuck off, I don't care. I've changed as a collector. I used to be really kind of, Hasbro's really good. And then I realised that third-party plastic's much better and the toys are much more fun, and I don't want this anymore, although I love all of this. But I really like having screen-accurate representations of fiction that I liked when I was a child. I just like good toys. Transformers animated Rodimus Minor. So good. So look at the light piping for a start. That is absolutely beautiful. If I cover up the back of his head, disappears, take it away. Light piping. Beautiful. The transformation is fantastic. He's got a great big, where is it? He's got a beautiful, great big scuff on his chest. Because the paint on this is fragile. The paint on this is very, very fragile. The transformation is great. The way the feet clip in is fantastic. The paint is lovely. He looks like he looks on the television. I could not love this anymore. This is... People do hashtag Deskbot quite a lot. I used to have a desk once upon a time. It's making me feel that... He's given me that feel now. Even just right now, stood here, he's given me that feel. This would sit on my desk for me when I worked at a job that just made me horribly, horribly miserable. It was a terrible job. And this sat on my desk and made me feel a little bit better because I used to just sit and transform it back and forth. This is the Takara one with the metallic paint. You can just get a red one, which is by Hasbro. I think I've seen more of these than I have the red one. I love this toy. It's fantastic. If you get the chance to this is a proper fiddly toy. Don't fiddle with the Takara one too much because the paint falls off. But if you get the red one, just sit and play with it and go brum brum for a little while. Very, very good toy of a character that was barely in the cartoon. Love this toy. Very good. Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Optimus Prime. Now this is Buster Optimus Prime, which is all covered in the super shiny chromy silver paint. But don't let that frighten you off. Any version of this mould, the grey one, whatever, just get this. The transformation on this was literally a game changer. It was an absolute turning point in Transformers history. Now, I like movies. I like the movies. If you don't like the movies, that's fine. Move along nicely. There might be something else on here on this list that you like. But the transformation on this is just magic. It has kibble falling all off of it. There are many, many versions of this toy up there and in my Detolf that are better at doing what this toy does. But this toy was 2009. It's 10 years old and it's amazing. The truck mode is great. The robot mode is great. It actually looks like what you saw on the film. This is magic and I will always, always love it. It's a little scary. Once you get used to how it works, it's not so bad. The back's a bit of a fudge. But in 2009, when this came out, I flipped my shit. And I still flip my shit slightly over it. Now, it's really, really good. It's not about plastic quality or anything like that. It is Optimus Prime that you see in the film. And it made me very, very happy. The transformation is amazing. Once upon a time, I met a girl, and the girl liked robots too. I know, it's weird, isn't it? What the fuck? There's girls that actually like toys too. I know, they're out there, you just gotta go and look for them. But anyway, this girl liked Decepticons, and I'm like, ooh, nobody likes Decepticons. Half the people like Decepticons, it's just how it is. But she liked them enough. She liked toys in a very different way than I did, because I had Hasbro, and she liked very, very expensive third-party toys, which I wasn't into at all at the moment. I didn't know what the third-party deal was, and I was just like, oh my God, you spent how much? However, she brought this down to the house. She brought this down when we weren't living together, and I had a little tiny play with it, and I touched it with my greasy little fingers, and I said to her, you have to leave this here, which is partly a little bit of bribery to make sure she came back again. But this is Mastermind Creations Tarn, and this changed my toy collecting pretty much forever, because the tolerances on this toy, the way everything moves, the ratchet joints, the transformation, this feels quality. This is beautiful. If a lot of this is Lidl, this is Marks and Spencer's. So nice. This changed. If you ever get a chance to play with one of these, whether you like the DJG stuff or not like that, just turn off your fiction brain for a minute and just think about, do I like toys? Do I like plastic? Do I analyse what I'm playing with? Lots and lots of people only want a physical representation of the cartoon or comic book that they used to read, but I didn't watch. The only cartoon I've ever really watched was G1, and G1 isn't any good anymore if you watch it, really. Comic books don't do anything for me at all, but toys. Plastic toys, toys with engineering and clever stuff and good things, toys absolutely do it for me. I love them. This is one of the best representations of a well put together toy there has ever been. Gushy bit number 2. Said young lady came down and we were having homemade burger in West Quay, Southampton, the big shopping centre. And we were discussing a toy that we both really, really wanted because we both really, really liked it. And it was far over the budget of anything that I'd ever really spent on before. But we were sat eating our burger and just went, I kind of really want it. So she went there. She just went on. Said, do you want to go halves on it? And I'm like, yeah, go on then. We'll go halves on it. It was a stupid thing to do at the time, but luckily it panned out. But, goddamn Mastermind Creations Impactor. Again, this is my first impulse buy into something that wasn't within my budget whatsoever. This is version 2 of the most well put together toy I've ever really played with. It is genuinely, fantastically a huge thing of beauty. I couldn't love it anymore. The story that comes with it is one of my favourite stories. But again, this is partly the reason why I'm such a third party whore now. Because this stuff, it's just better. It's very expensive, but it's just better. If you ever get a chance to play with any of it, if you get a chance to just pick up and move the joints on one of these high-end MMC figures, please do it. It's Mastermind Creations Impactor. I can't remember what his name was when he actually came out. It doesn't matter. If you look it up, you'll find it. This is very, very good, and I love it. I can't remember if it's Quake Wave or Quake Blast, but what it is Quake Nicely, one of the nicest toys I own. It's the first third-party toy I've ever owned. I bought it off someone for a very reasonable price. Everything on it is just beautifully put together. I couldn't love it anymore. It's fantastic. The transformation is kind of what you expect it to be. This was the first expensive third-party toy I ever bought. It's very, very nice. I will never, ever change an actual Hasbro Masterpiece one for this, because the Hasbro one is just piss and thin and crap and the wrong colour, and I don't like it. This thing is frankly beautiful. Yes, please rub it all over me. Make Toys Downbeat, aka Jazz. If I hold it close, this is literally... I love Jazz. And the reason I love Jazz is because when Jazz came out as like when I was a child, I didn't get it. I didn't have a Jazz. I wanted a Jazz. I never got one. So as an adult, when this came out and I saw it, I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. It's mildly complicated. The tolerances aren't quite as nice as the MMC stuff because it's early. But this will never not be in my collection. It's absolutely stone cold beautiful. Even from the back, it's still reminiscent of good old fashioned Jazz. I love this. It's one of these cases of this is going to make me a massive dick. If you bought the other one, you bought the wrong one. Remixes Prime, a toy that is big and beautiful, and I said that I definitely was not going to buy, but then when I got to TFN, my friend Martin showed it to me, it's not in focus, and said, Dave, come and have a look at this toy, and I said, no, I can't buy it, and then I opened the box and saw how big and beautiful it was, and instantly said, yes, I will have that in my house, because I have to have it in my life. This toy fits. This toy fits with your Masterpiece collection. Masterpiece Grimlock is not big enough. This toy fits in your Masterpiece collection. This toy, when I put it with the other Gigapower dinosaurs, is just the most imposing thing in the world. And even when proper adults that don't do Transformers come round to your house and look at stuff, they see things like this and they go, fuck me, that's really nice. This is really nice. Really, really nice. This is, I mean, this was only kind of £100 kind of mark as well, which if you're not a toy buyer sounds like a lot of money, but if you are a toy buyer, you know that it's not. Whoa! Shiny chrome. Just brilliant. Just brilliant. It knocks socks off. This is how it's supposed to be done. This is the problem. Dear Hasbro. Can't believe I said that. Going against everything I believe. But this is what people want. Not your moderately sized, really expensive stuff. I don't believe it. I just don't. Give me big toys, please. Not Unicrons for £600, though. Transformers Prime Wheeljack. Literally just the story of how to do something right. The tolerances are good. The transformation's fantastic. It looks just like it walked off the screen. I love who he was in Transformers Prime. I quite frankly love all of Transformers Prime. It's very, very good. I really liked it. Simple, effective, 14 quid at the time. Really, really nice. Just this, and all the molds that it's done since have been really, really nice. Even from the back, it doesn't look clunky and it hasn't got kibble all over it. The little wings and things like that are all reminiscent of what this toy was supposed to be when it was G1. This is beautiful and I love it. One of the cleverest transformations I've ever come across. I've got to put some heat on his smokestacks because they've gone a bit droopy over time because gravity's attacked them. It's no spring chicken. This is a first edition Optimus Prime. This was a very, very expensive toy that when it came out. These were like £80 for a Voyager figure. It was insane. But I got all caught up in the height and ended up with 3 of them. Because I've got the robot one, and then I've got the Nemesis one, and then I've got a transparent one as well, because clear toys are clearly better. The transformation of how the truck mode becomes the truck mode is fantastic. And then that transformation moved on to the studio series and some of the third-party stuff. And this is it folds up beautifully. As I said earlier, this is the pinnacle of Transformers engineering. It's fantastic. The legs don't look like legs in truck mode. The arms fold up to become the long nose of a long nose cab so well, yet don't really show any evidence of being a long nose cab. All of these rivets down the arms and stuff like that show that it's a robot. I like robots that have car bits hanging off them. I'm old school like that. G1, all the early stuff, Cybertron, Unicron trilogy stuff, all robots with cars hanging off them. Transformers Prime, robots with car bits hanging off them. I like to see tyres and wheels and planes and wings and missiles. I like that stuff. This has got all of that stuff. Window tits the lot. Still voiced by Peter Cullen. Big sword, big gun, everything you need. But if you ever get the chance to have someone either walk you through it, because it's not simple, or just sit and play with one of these. The Voyager one, this one is the one. It's genuinely monstrously good. I couldn't love it anymore. If you get a chance to play with one of these, it's fantastic. Okay, now for the difficult bit to swallow, because yes, if you're going to call me a third-party elitist pig and I've evolved into something that's horrible and trashy and that I should be ashamed of myself, then firstly, screw you, man! I do what I like! Secondly, this is FanToys Phoenix. This is the pinnacle of my entire collection. To be what it is and turn into what it does, and to be as big and white and shiny and have all the joints work really well and the hands are beautiful and the transformation's amazing and the white plastic and the white plastic and the white plastic. It's just so nice. And look at it. It's just Jetfire from... Oh, God. And I've never stood it next. We've got the Coronation Edition Starscream sat in the Detolf. I've never taken any photos of these two next to each other. It's never even crossed my mind. I haven't plugged the jets into the backpack. They should be sure to forgive me. Yes, I know I've done it. I've just noticed. But you don't ever look at the back of a toy when it's in the front of a Detolf. Me and Emily went to the first TF Nation and Em said, come on, I'll buy you something. What do you want? And I went Megatron and she went, fuck off. And I went, well, no, Megatron. And she went, no, fuck off. And I said, well, get me a Phoenix then. And she looked at it and she was like, maybe, because you know, we were spoiling each other at the time. Bought me a FanToys Phoenix. Never ever regretted it. Never regretted it. She might have regretted it. I've never regretted it. Oh, just look at the state of that. It's just... Oh, nothing. Nothing. I did a review that I spent ages on. I'm going to link it in the video in the bar below. I spent ages doing the transformation sequence and about 250 people watched it. And it really put me off doing Transformers videos for a good 6 months because I put so much effort into this video. And I did it in a very kind of Jobby meets Ben's Collectibles kind of funny, but then and tried to show the transformation without it taking half an hour. I put a lot of effort into the video and nothing paid off, and it really fucked me over. And it kind of changed. It didn't change my view towards this toy, but it changed my view towards what I do and how I do it. And put me off for a little while. But that doesn't change the fact that this is a masterpiece scale Jetfire. This is the figure that I remember from my childhood. This is why filthy G1ers are boring G1ers. And if you show me stuff like this, then I get it. I understand. I know what you mean. Sort of. G1 is just one part of Transformers. Don't get too caught up, you ridiculous sheeple. Oh, so nice. My name has been SMS. No, because I don't have the one anymore. And I'm just... Life has been a bit weird recently. But the weird is starting to level out. I just suddenly realised that I really like toy robots again. And I used to help run a very successful Facebook page where people would come and have fun, and no one really notices the Facebook page anymore because I haven't put any effort into it. So we'll see what we can do about that. Please, if you want to do I used to love this and I still love this video, everyone, all of you sat at home must be thinking right now at some point, do you know what? This toy that I bought 6 months ago, this toy that I bought a year ago, this toy that I had when I was a child still fills me with utter joy and has never been far from my sight. If you have a toy like that, 1, 2, or the plethora that I've showed you today, make a video. Please link it into the description that Baz, Mr. Barry Shaw, new rod on the TFYTC, has put. And join in the fun and watch everyone else's videos. And if you like what they've done, subscribe. And if you don't, because sub for sub is horrible. Please don't do that. Just have a bit of dignity for yourself. It's horrible. Just stay away. Thank you very much. Goodbye. See you later. Go then. I got to reach the button and this is always the undignified bit.